Thanks for joining me again this week. Last week I talked about the sheer scale of our community's connection to the federal government. Over 77,000 employees call Montgomery County home, and over 48,000 federal jobs are based right here in the county. That's a massive part of our local economy, and it supports families, businesses, and public services that residents depend on. What's happening now under Trump is starting to shake the foundation. Just last weekend, NIH laid off 1,000 workers. The Department of Health and Human Services is seeing an even broader impact, with an estimated 5,200 probationary employees losing their jobs since the start of this month. That's thousands of people who got up every morning, did critical work, and now without warning, they're without income. And it doesn't stop there. We received WARN notices. Those are the legal notices companies have to file when they're going to have a mass layoff, from 4 major firms that worked closely with USAID: DAI Global in Bethesda, ABT Global in Rockville, Creative Associates International in Chevy Chase, and Encompass LLC in Silver Spring. Together, that's another 808 jobs gone. Now, we don't know how many of those individuals are Montgomery County residents. We have neighboring jurisdictions with federal workers and contractors and NGOs that are feeling these cuts too. Many of those workers reside in Montgomery County, and it's all going to add up. And behind every one of these layoffs is a family, a parent wondering how they're going to pay rent next month, kids who still need food on the table and clothes on their backs, mortgages and medical bills and car payments that have to be paid. And none of that goes away just because the paycheck stops. These layoffs just don't hit the families, they hit all of us. Income tax revenue, sales tax revenue. When the people have less to spend, local businesses suffer. Restaurants, dry cleaners, coffee shops, daycare centers, businesses that depend on these workers are going to feel the squeeze. Some already are. And this is just the beginning. We could be looking at tens of thousands of jobs lost in our region by the time these cuts fully take effect. That's a seismic shock to Montgomery County and our region, and to Maryland's economy as a whole. The worst part of all this is the approach being taken by the Trump administration. I could see finding efficiencies could well lead to some job losses, but this approach of shuttering agencies, dismissing thousands of workers, and dismantling science research has nothing to do with finding efficiencies. Firing all probationary workers defined as new employees has nothing to do with looking at the jobs they do and the structure of their agencies in order to determine whether or not there could be improvements made that would actually create efficiency. The administration has done no analysis of how to work better and how they could benchmark what people are doing in a way that would lead to productive efforts to increase efficiency. But to kill the functions of agencies, which is their intention, is far removed from actually becoming more efficient. Whether it's probationary employees or long-term employees, the cuts are about stopping government work and killing government programs. When you consider the element of comparing political contributions to employee lists and targeting employees who are Democrats, it is essentially a political purge, unprecedented in the federal government since the end of the McCarthy-era witch hunts in the 1950s. Locally in government, we do not consider anyone's a political affiliation. We make decisions based on merit in both hiring and promotions. The federal decisions being made are based on revenge and on a plan to shrink government's responsibility to the safety of its citizens and to cripple science and health research that many corporations feel impedes their ability to maximize profits when research shows that either their processes or their products are injurious to people or to our planet. We should not forget it was Richard Nixon, a Republican, by no mistake, who created the EPA because he saw the need for it. Not because he was catering to tree huggers, but because he understood the importance of taking care of the environment. I want to encourage everyone who is or could be impacted to check out our list of resources we've provided on our website. And next Tuesday, February 25th at 7 p.m., I, along with council members, will be joined by Chris Van Hollen and Congressman Jamie Raskin in hosting a virtual meeting to speak about the uncertainty and difficulty at the federal level. There will be an opportunity to submit questions in advance and during the virtual meeting. We cannot solve all the problems created at the federal level, but we do think it's important to be in touch and communicate and to let you know what we can do to help. One of our most essential tools in Montgomery County is WorkSource Montgomery. They've been on the front lines of helping workers navigate these challenges for a long time, and they're ramping up efforts now to meet this moment. I invited Executive Director Anthony Featherstone to my media briefing this week to talk more about resources available.
If anyone does not know where to start, we have a comprehensive job center located at 11510 Georgia Avenue in Wheaton, another in the Upcounty Regional Services Center. You can walk into those centers anytime, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and ask for help, and we'll start from there if you want to talk to a live person, in person. Because we know that there's an unemployment insurance attachment to this, we have worked closely with our partners at Department of Labor. So there's not only phone access to UI professionals, but we have actual people in our American Job Centers that can provide unemployment insurance assistance.
Times of uncertainty create opportunities for scammers, and right now we're seeing an uptick in misleading information and outright fraud, especially when it comes to housing. Social media posts are spreading false claims about the housing market, trying to stir panic and take advantage of people who are already feeling vulnerable. Some scammers are pushing fake mortgage relief programs, shady financial real estate deals, and even bogus rental listings, all designed to steal your money or your personal information, or both. Here's what you can do. Verify information before making any financial decisions. Be skeptical of unsolicited offers, and never share sensitive information with someone you don't fully trust. If something feels off, it probably is. Our Consumer Protection Office is here to help. If you suspect a scam or need advice, call 311 or visit their website at montgomerycountymd.gov/OCP. We're committed to helping our residents stay informed and protected, especially during difficult times. And speaking of protecting people, too many people who rent their homes and apartments are at risk of losing their place without a valid reason. That is why I went to Annapolis this week to testify on behalf of new legislation that would require that a landlord have a just cause in order to execute an eviction on a tenant. Since a moratorium on evictions was lifted following the end of the pandemic, end-of-lease evictions have surged well beyond levels we saw before 2020. Without just cause protection across Maryland, landlords can refuse to renew leases for no reason, leaving families scrambling with little notice. And that includes even if your payment record is perfect. This kind of instability harms families and affects jobs, education, and health, and pushes some toward homelessness. A just cause eviction standard simply requires landlords to provide a valid reason for ending a lease. It's a common sense measure already in place in other states. It does not stop landlords from managing their properties. It simply ensures evictions are fair and justified. The legislation acknowledges all of the reasons a landlord could carry out an eviction when the circumstances warrant it. Those reasons are focused on issues like tenants who are doing things that damage the property, tenants who are disruptive to other tenants and their ability to quietly enjoy their apartments, tenants who refuse to pay rent. There are more reasons than that, and that's why this is a good bill. It does not handicap a landlord's ability to move a tenant out if they are truly wrecking property or destroying the building or the atmosphere for other tenants in the building. What it goes after are the cases where tenants get evicted for advocating for decent and safe living conditions in the building where they pay rent and should have a reasonable expectation that landlords deliver a livable apartment. Simply speaking up or offering a voice for the disenfranchised should not put a target on your back. I hope the General Assembly gives counties the authority to adopt just cause eviction laws to protect more families from unnecessary moves. As a teacher, I learned very quickly that family stability can help improve a child's ability to succeed in the classroom. When children are happy and not dealing with the kind of stress an eviction can bring, hope grows and goals develop and accomplishments are made. I want to thank Delegate Janelle Wilkins and others fighting to make housing fair, stable, and affordable for all Marylanders. We will end Black History Month next week by renaming the county's executive office building after former county executive Ike Leggett. Ike dedicated more than 45 years of his life to public service, starting in 1979. He became the first Black county executive and a member in the Montgomery County Council. The ceremony will be held here in Rockville on Monday starting at 3 p.m. We will have some special guests here to honor Ike, including Lieutenant Governor Runa Miller, Senators Chris Van Hollen and Joel Alsobrooks, along with Congressman Glenn Ivey and others. Close to 300 people have already RSVP'd, and we're prepared to handle the big crowd by providing an overflow room for the ceremony. If you'd like to join us, email legateevent@montgomerycountymd.gov. Limited paid parking is also available at the county office building in the parking garage at 100 Maryland Avenue, with additional paid parking available at 51 Monroe Street. Ride-On and Metro's Red Line are also options. For his part, Ike has been humble about all of this. He told MC Media last week that he sees this as a testament to his entire team for the work they did to serve the county during his 12 years as executive. We appreciate his humility, but we also recognize that the leadership he provided directed the county government to do the work that meaningfully impacted people's lives and helped create a more welcoming and inclusive Montgomery County. Without Ike, there aren't the directions to do that. We are rounding out February and finishing Library Lovers Month strong. This weekend, we have a robotics workshop happening in Germantown, a documentary film screening in Kensington, and a Broadway and movies in-person concert in Wheaton. I want to thank the Friends of the Library, library patrons, and other supporters for allowing our libraries to continue offering a variety of programs and specials for our residents. You still have time to fill out virtual postcards detailing why you love libraries that will be given to elected leaders. There are also social media promotions underway so you can share with your friends what you love about our libraries. You can find that on Friends of the Library website, folmc.org, under Library Lovers Month, or you can find it on montgomerycountymd.gov/library. We're also about 1 month away from the MoCom Con, one of our library's most popular events of the year. This annual convention for fans of comics, graphic novels, and other pop art returns March 22nd and 23rd to the Germantown Library and the Black Rock Center for the Arts. A schedule of events is still being worked out, but applications for art and essay contests are now open. I want to close on a health note. Flu cases have seriously increased while the number of vaccinated residents is below where it should be. In this moment, flu is putting more people in hospitals and more people are dying from it compared to people who have COVID. Please take this seriously. We don't want more people getting sick or spreading COVID, and getting vaccinated is the part you can play in making a healthier community. Please help yourself and help others. Stay safe. That's a wrap for today. I hope you have a great week, and I'll be back again next week.